Hello guys, welcome to the new video. In this video, I'll be summarizing about this penal statement for the February month, and moreover, I was not able to upload the videos because of some health issues and even more work at the office. So, henceforth, I'll be updating about the trades that I'll be taking. Most probably not on the daily basis. I will try to mostly in the weekends, I'll try to sort out and show you the overall trade setups and even the P&L statement for the weekly as well. So moving on to the video, I'll be showing you about the P&L statement. Let me show you the for the equity as well. So for the equity from 1st of the February to 29th of February, I'm selecting this overall. If you see over here, I had taken some trades in the geofinance wherein I had told you about the trade setup also on the swing trading ideas, wherein I have huge quantities, but however I have squared off a position with 40 quantities at around wherein I had bought it around my average price for the present holding is also around 280 rupees. So cumulatively I squared off some 40 stocks from there wherein I was able to gain around 1800 profit for that for the geofinance thing. So coming to the other trade was a Subex wherein I was anticipating some up move, but however, because of the sideways momentum and on the mid cap and the small cap were seeing some lot of correction, hence I thought of squaring this and allocating this capital to some other trades. Wherein in the Tata Motors also I had taken out, and Zomato I had shared you about this thing wherein the pattern was forming on the in this channel pattern wherein Zomato had given a breakout and then we saw almost around like 7 to 8% rally. However, I was not able to capture the entire move, but I was able to gain around 3% overall from the capital invested. So currently, the profit that I booked in the trades that I was holding for the long term or not the long term, but in the holdings, I was able to gain around 2,230 rupees out from the equities section. But when I move to the future and options for the same date from 1st of the February to 29th of the February, let me show you the overall history for this one. I have traded for all the days for the February month, like on each and every day I have taken the trades, and there have been instances wherein there were a loss of around 15,000 and around 18,000 on particular 2nd Feb there was a loss of around 15,000 and even on February 15th there was a loss of on daily basis I'm talking about there was around 18,000. So cumulatively if you observe over here around 18,000 plus 15,000 roughly around 30,000 was the overall loss on a daily basis. Cumulatively if you observe over here there have been a trade setups which I already shared with you guys in the Telegram as well on even on the swing trading ideas. I was holding the SEC calls 2680 and 2720, wherein I had the loss for the particular trade because this was not on a if it was a future or even in the holdings I would have held the position, but because of the I made an entry in the options, I squared off this position with a cumulative loss from this trade was around 15,000 rupees from this trade, wherein on the daily basis, daily candle basis, I had taken a trade on this. Then, if you come to the other position also, HAL I had bought around future for the March future itself, wherein I booked the loss of around 12,750, wherein the cap it was around 1.35%. But however, I would have held this position, but particularly I squared up this position. Let me show you the breakdown for this. Particularly, I made an entry on 28th of Feb, and I particularly made an entry in the March because of the and then good set. There was a good setup. However, let me show you the setup that I had checked on the HA. I think I have not posted anything about this, but let me go to the daily time frame basis. You will be able to understand the. I will tell you about the setup that I had seen, and it might be helpful also for the setup for if you guys are going to take the trade. If you observe on a daily time frame basis, there is a particular zone wherein from around 3128 to 302850 zones, wherein there was a consolidation happening in this particular zone, and then there was a breakout from this particular day. But however, there was a pullback, and then now we have seen a new HL has made a huge momentum on the upside, Particularly, I made entry on this particular day, assuming that there is a breakout, but on particular day there was a huge sell-off in the Nifty. So hence there was, like, particularly if I go to the HL future, for the March future, let me go to the chart and I'll meanwhile let it is loading. So we will see here. This is already given a breakout. This turned out to be a fake breakout, but however, after a pullback, we have seen a huge momentum in the HL, particularly the percentage of the return from this point. If I assume that is around, let me take this point clearly. So from here, almost around 6.5% rally has happened already. So with respect to, if I move to the 15-minute time frame or maybe 30-minute time frame over here, if you observe, I made an entry around this position around the 28th Feb. I made in the afternoon session somewhere in this candle, wherein I made it around 31.46 is what my entry point was here exactly. At this point, I had bought it and then I squared off my position with trailing because I thought like there might be a correction on in the Nifty, and hence I didn't make any entry later on in this particular setup. But if you observe the HL future, it is trading at today's closing price. If you let me take this point. But here, if you observe here, it has made already 100 points move from the point where I had made an entry at this particular point. From there, we had seen, like, particularly I didn't close even in the intraday basis. There was a pullback lower than the time frame wherein I entered. From this point, if you observe, there was a risk of around 3%, and from this point, it has already gained 3.6%. So, wherein the risk to reward ratio would have been 1 is to 1. But however, I squared off a position on that particular day. Otherwise, I would have gained a huge profit in this trade, particularly. It's fine. However, if you observe, I'm not telling you about the profit that I made from this point, but if you cumulatively add this, it's around 15, 16, 7, 16,000 from this trade I made a loss. So particularly if I move to the other trade wherein HAL I made around 12,750 loss, almost all like around the 30,000 is overall cumulative. If I go to the other trades also, I had sold some call options for the Nifty, and even let me come here. Over here, if you observe at this point, there was a huge loss in the Nifty itself, wherein I had sold around 21,600 CE, I guess so. But afterwards, the Nifty gave a huge momentum on the upside. So hence, I lost around 27,000. So 36,000 there and 27,000 here. So almost all 60,000 loss I made with this trade. But however, if I go to the other trade also set up here, I think I made another huge loss as well, wherein see here 22,250 call, I had made a loss of around 18,000. So even here there was not much loss. So but cumulatively, if you observe, I was able to make around 1.26, wherein it was a realized profit, and I had to make there I lost around 21,000 for the charges. So cumulatively for the monthly, I was able to gain around 1 lakh 4,000, even after making around 60 to 70,000 loss with the trades that I took. But the setup that I was looking after, where risk to reward ratio was good, but I was not able to capture the trade with the trailing SL. I had to close my position. So the overall cumulatively, if you observe, I gained around 2,230 from the equity trade. I don't usually go with the holding this equity trading in the equity, so hence the P&L statement, if you observe in the equity portion, is lesser. If I add this with the profit that I made around 1,04,000 from this from FNO segment, so cumulatively, if you observe, I was able to gain around 1,07,000 for the month, for the February month, wherein I made around cumulatively, if you observe, around made an around 60 to 70,000 as a loss during the month, and cumulatively overall, I was able to gain around 1,07,000. So the point is you have to look after the trade setup that are good, and wherein even though if you end up losing it, it will be not, don't make an haphazard entry wherein you will be later on and like you will keep on regretting about the trade setup. So rather than wait and watch for the setup, and once you find your setup has come, then we can particularly we can take a trade. That's like PNL, everyone can show about it, but the point is you have to be consistent about your setup. There is no need to take trades on a daily basis or like maybe half an hour or 1 hour basis. Better to wait and watch for the setup to form, and then you can take the trade. So henceforth, in the for the 50,000 challenge that we had started, I'll be posting about those videos also in the upcoming days, and even about the straight setup and all everything I'll be posting on the Telegram channel. So that's it for the today's video, and see you in the next video. Bye.